These are the ones who didn't wait for a seat at the table. The visionaries, the builders, the leaders who move fast and turn obstacles into opportunities. Stories of vision and resolve, of risk taken and limits broken. The grit, the courage, and the moments that changed everything. Welcome to the table.
I'm so excited to have you here. Ali Kreider, welcome to the table.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you. When I first looked on your Instagram, I actually saw something that was so wildly interesting to me. You say that fitness is political. So can we expand on that?
Yeah. How much time do we have?
Oh, gosh.
Just kidding. So fitness is so much more than like the time we spend in the gym or a pair of dumbbells or just getting stronger. Access to movement is built on systems, and that inherently ties back to policy and being able to have safe access to sidewalks, roads, gyms, having money and being able to have the ability to be able to actually go to a facility where I can exercise, anti-fat bias. And there's a lot of different like strings that like all tie back to policy and different procedures, which all then kind of stem into, we have like just dismantling some of the thoughts that we have around how that all ties into being able to just take it for granted that, sure, I can tell someone just go for a walk or go to the gym, but that's not feasible for everybody.
Yeah. Can you talk about what you mean by policy related to the fitness industry and like?
Yeah. So again, like being able to have access to healthcare and a membership to a gym, and not everyone, may be able to have a job that gives them access to be able to afford a gym. And then it's like, okay, well, you could just go work out from home. You still need equipment, or, okay, I don't have access to equipment. I'll just go walk outside. But then you have accessibility that we're looking into, just being able to have just general access to those things, which is difficult. All stem from like patriarchy, white supremacy, and that like there is a hierarchy of an access of needs. So if you make enough money, if you're in a certain like bracket of wealth, then you have more access to be able to do X, Y, and Z. And if you're at the lower end of that bracket, you maybe are unemployed, and then you don't have access to there's so many layers of access, representation, and then there's just certain populations that are just I don't want to say dismissed, but are quite honestly dismissed, and just not even like we're not even thinking of a group of people that live in a neighborhood that is not safe and it's not simple.
Yeah.
So there's so many complexities to it. Even just then talking about just our bodies and safety within our bodies. So there's so many roads to go and so many threads to pull about this. So yeah.
It's a loaded question. Yeah. Okay, so can we talk a little bit about what you do?
Yeah. So I am a personal trainer and group fitness coach. I primarily work with women as it relates to my business, but I also work at a retirement community. So I
didn't know that.
Yeah. So I work at a local retirement community. So I'm working with people in their 80s and 90s.
Is it Clark Lindsay?
Yeah, that runs the gamut. That makes my population that I work with very vast and wide. But each one influences the other. Yeah. So my goal for anyone that I work with when it comes to strength and being strong to do life well, I want you to be able to do that until you're in your 80s and 90s. So to be able to work with people actually in their 80s and 90s, it just influences, what I do with other clients, and it just kind of brings everything full circle.
Would you say that strength is more important than cardio, or do you need both?
Yeah, so you definitely need both. But as we get older, and when I'm speaking right now, I'm talking like women in particular, but it applies across the board. But as we age, our bone density and our muscle mass decreases. So as we get older, those numbers start to go down. And that's where strength work is so important to help you against frailty or fall prevention, or just things that when you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, you're not really thinking about, okay, if I trip and fall, I might break a hip. That's not really a thought that crosses our mind.
Mm-mm.
But the work that we're doing, we're laying the foundation to be able to protect ourselves as we get older. So strength work is critical, but you need one and then you also need the other. So if we just strictly did strength work, that wouldn't be a bad thing, but being able to have the cardiovascular capability to just move about the world, take up a flight of stairs. So you need strong legs to do a flight of stairs, but you also need heart and lung capacity to do a flight of stairs. So it's a yin yang. It's like a both and. Like we need both. If someone were to be like, which one do I do? I would say yes.
Yes, do both.
We need both, but I think it also depends on, there may be different seasons of life or different things, demands placed on you, things you have going on in your life where maybe you place one at a higher value than the other. And then you have to kind of work and shift the dial. So, if we have a capacity of movement and the capacity is 100, I would say it's probably not a 50-50. But you can't do 100 of strength and 100 of cardio.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be some sort of balancing act. Otherwise, we're going to just overload and tax our system. We're going to be burnt out. We might get injured.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to resent the whole reason that we're doing this in the first place.
So typically, what do people come to you for when they slide into your DMs? What do they say?
Yeah. It could be different things. They just want to get strong. They want to just get strong for their kids. They want to be able to run and chase and play with their kids. A lot of the clients I have are a little bit older, so they have grandkids, and they're like, I just want to be able to do things with them, which is so amazing, because I would say 5+ years ago, conversations were very different around why someone may come to me. They may come with me of weight loss as a goal. Why I am not I consider myself a non-diet focused trainer. And what that means for me is that I'm just not placing that weight as a metric of success at like number one.
Yeah.
When I'm working with someone. If weight loss is a goal someone has, then that's a body autonomy is a very important pillar of my business. And that's something that is a fine goal to have. But we're going to focus on how exercise and movement makes you feel and the good things that it's doing for you independent of that. And if that happens as a byproduct of the work that you do, fantastic.
Yeah.
So I consider myself a non-diet trainer. I'm not anti-weight loss. It's just not going to be something that I work with someone on. So I have had clients that have come for that intention in mind, and we kind of rework that goals of like, why are we actually here? And when you peel back the layers, if someone's like, I want to lose 25 pounds, and you ask more questions, you dig a little bit deeper, the net end result is often, I want to be able to do X, Y, or Z. That has nothing to do with your weight.
Specifically, since you do work with women, have you noticed that a lot of the weight loss will come after you do the nervous system regulation that comes with like maybe a different exercise regimen or maybe like working with their cycles?
So to be honest, I don't even look at their weight. So it's not even a metric. I am not someone that's going to take a before and after photo. Because the work that you're doing is so much more than a photo. And there's so many things. You mentioned nervous system. There's so many things that we cannot see. The outside eye cannot see. And you as an individual, you're going through that training and you're like, maybe you're thinking, my body is not changing. Nothing is working and I'm not actually doing anything. But you do feel more relaxed. You do feel more regulated. You're finding that when your cycle comes and that time of the month comes, you're not maybe like down like you usually are. And so those things we are missing because we're so often so laser focused on, I need to hit an X number. And that means I did a good job. So if we can pay attention to the regulation, the cycle and how things are looking or feeling during that time, and then I'm sleeping better. I have more energy. My mood is better. I'm not short with my kids. I'm not finding myself like tense and rigid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually working. Maybe the number on the scale is still the same.
Yeah.
But like what's actually happening like inside our bodies?
Do you feel like a lot of people have a lot of inflammation? It's not necessarily weight. It's like inflammation due to the stress that they're putting their bodies through. Like maybe they need to de-stress with exercise.
Yeah. It's an interesting question because exercise is a stressor,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Oh.
like by purpose, we are putting our bodies under stress.
Yeah.
The great thing about that though is like putting your body under stress in like a safe,
Mm.
like purposeful way
Mhm.
where like I know that I'm going to go maybe run sprints on a treadmill.
Yeah.
And that is going to do certain things, cardiovascular, it's going to spike cortisol, it's going to do things. I have an insulin response. There's going to be things happening in my body that stress myself.
Mhm.
That may be a constant, like a spike of inflammation. I mean, there's different things, happening. But we need those things to be able to withstand the stressors that happen to us outside of the gym. So being able to stress ourselves in a controlled, safe space gives us resiliency and ability to be able to, you're walking across the street and a car swings by. You have reactivity now and you've built some muscles, or you have to give a presentation. You have to stand up in front of who knows how many people.
Mm.
You can tap into that resiliency, those things that you created in the gym. I know we're not talking right about inflammation now, but
Yeah.
those things help you to be able to do things that you need to do just living your life.
Yeah.
And so you literally like can flex the muscles.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
And I after I lead group fitness classes, and I will often do some breathing exercises at the end of the class because we need to also remind our bodies that like we did not just get chased by a bear. We exercised,
Yeah.
right?
We're saying,
But our bodies don't know that. They don't know that like, what did you just do to me? Right? Like that was really hard. My heart rate spiked. Your body's like, stress.
yeah.
It doesn't know that it's exercise.
Yeah.
So we need to work on that regulation like afterwards. And that's where like doing a workout and then actually having focused time to cool down, to restore, to regulate is so important, to just remind our bodies that like, we are okay.
Mm-hmm.
We are safe. We just did a really hard thing, but we're not in like danger.
That's so interesting. Well, okay, so this is what I deal with. I'm such a workaholic because I love it so much, but it has caused me to wake up in the morning and immediately I have this cortisol spike and my heart is pounding every single morning I wake up.
Mm-hmm.
So would more consistent exercise, maybe different exercise, help with that, like regulating that? Like what's happening to me?
Yeah, no, and I think that's where you said it, like different types of exercise.
Mhm.
I think a common thing is we get into a routine or we have a fitness routine and
Yeah.
that fitness routine looks a certain way.
Mm.
And we have to, like you said, go. We have to adhere to the program that we're working on. And so maybe that is a lifting program, or you're training for a high racks competition, or you're doing something. And so like
Mhm.
you have that like spike in that response. We need to tap into different movement modalities though, based off of like what's happening in our life. Maybe you woke up because and you know that you have a jam-packed day and it is full and there's meeting after meeting and demand and emails and all the things that are happening. Oh, right. And you're also supposed to do a high intensity workout today. That was on your schedule.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe that's not the right one.
Yeah.
But it's not to say then I just don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going for a walk.
Yeah.
And it's listening to a podcast and putting, something, or listening to some chill music. It's going for a walk. It's just stretching.
Mm-hmm.
It's doing something. I'm a big proponent of something over nothing. So it's doing something to like just make yourself feel better.
So the goal is to feel better and to be functional.
And to be
Okay.
functional, to be longer. And, at the end of the day, maybe you don't need to do anything that day. Maybe it's like, I feel like I am at max and I can't add another thing to my list. Maybe I just need to go home at the end of the day and I need to just close my eyes for 20 minutes
And rest. Yeah.
and let that be okay.
Yeah.
Just letting there be space for both, knowing that I'm going to rest today that's going to set me up for success for tomorrow. Likely if I rest now, I'm going to recharge my system. I'm going to be a little bit more energized to do whatever the thing is tomorrow. I think that with movement, we can adapt it to different seasons of life. And there'll be seasons where you have like capacity to do all the things and go to the gym and work out really hard. And that's great and wonderful. There's also going to be seasons where that's just not possible.
Yeah.
And I think it ties back to like a bigger picture thing of like the reason of why you're doing it. And you're doing it so that you can train to live well and do the things you want to do in life. And when you have that in mind, it opens up a lot of space for ease. And
ease.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
To be able to be like, oh, I actually don't have to go like super hard today. I mean, for me today, I had a strength workout on my calendar and I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. But I just really didn't feel like it. My gym is in my garage. It's cold outside.
It is cold.
I showed up though, and I lightened my weights. And I let myself know that like I'm still making a deposit in towards my future strength just by showing up and doing something.
Yeah.
But today is not the day for a PR. Today is not the day to try to lift as heavy as I can. Maybe tomorrow is, maybe next week is. But allowing yourself like the freedom and the space to be able to lighten things up, to then go heavy when you need to go heavy.
Have you found that you have to pull back and rest in order to be able to go as hard as you want to the next time?
1000%. And like I said, I teach a group fitness class. In the class that I teach, we go much slower than like typical group fitness classes. And I allow for a lot of breaths so that someone can then pick up the heavy weight and do it again. And it's so interesting to see that that behavior. I gotta go. I gotta keep moving.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I just stand here.
Yeah.
And breathe.
I just breathe.
It's so counterintuitive to like what we as a society and people just have it ingrained in ourselves.
Yeah.
And for me, it goes all the way back to like, why do I do the work I do now to begin with? Is because for so many years I did that. I hustled so hard. I chased like the most, and I got burnt out and I got tired.
Yeah.
And it was like a little bit of like self, like inner work to be like, wait, what do you mean I don't actually have to do that?
Yeah. Do you think that system is set up for a man's cycle versus what would be more productive for women?
I mean, I think that ties back to the patriarchy and like this need to please.
Yeah.
That like we as women obey and do the things that we need to do to adhere to a standard set upon us by society, but by society, I mean men. And so like, they can do X, Y, and Z and go and hit the mark. Okay, so I have to keep up.
Yeah.
But I am not you. I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But that's a really like big unwinding to do. And I think that all still then ties back to, diet culture and the reasons that like we believe, or I believed for so many years as to why I'm supposed to exercise. So.
No, mine has always been like take up as little space as possible.
Yeah. Right. Like
well, isn't it?
It is like I exercise to stay small, to stay quiet, to be a rule follower. And I have to do these things and I have to hit these marks and it has to be this way in order for me to call it like good, so that I can be, a good person that's doing the right thing. And it's different and it's kind of wild to then be like, I'm going to go rogue and not do that. And I'm finding, surrounding myself with people that believe that same way. And there's more trainers that are like me out there. And it's like, what a breath of fresh air to know that like, okay, like we as women can actually like take up space to like be in the weight room with the men, not to work out like them, but to like be there and have as much right and space and willingness and desire to do those things. Because we also deserve to be strong and capable and confident to do whatever we're going to do.
So you work with a lot of people in midlife. So why do you think that is such a powerful and overlooked stage in a woman's life?
Yeah. So it's interesting, being in middle age, like midlife myself, um, hearing about menopause, it was like this like secret thing that's coming, but like don't talk about it.
Yeah.
It's very like top secret. Like you're gonna go through this like life transition, but like no one's really gonna actually tell you what it is, what it entails, how you should prepare for it. And then it's like, okay, why do I feel strange? Why are these things happening in my body? Hormones and things are inflammation and all these things are like going crazy. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So I do feel like that it's kind of this. So if you have like a pendulum of like the discussion of like women in midlife and like women's health in midlife, it went from like a zero, like no conversations about it. It's almost gone the opposite way to where now there's like a lot of information about it. So much of like, true.
Yeah. What's accurate?
What's accurate? People are posting on social media about their like menopause experiences, but like, is it accurate? Like what's actually true? And so, I think it's important now to kind of come back to some sort of like middle ground, because it went from like no conversation to so much conversation. Now it feels like very complex and like,
Yeah.
and sure, like there's a lot going on within your body, but at the end of the day, like moving well and, maintaining a good diet and just eating well, resting, like sleeping, those like just like basic critical things are really like what we need to do to just feel good. So it kind of has gotten almost like overcomplicated now to now we're like, how do I cut through all that to really figure out what do I actually need to do to exist and feel good in my body? Do I need to take hormone replacement? Do I need to do whatever?
Yeah.
Like,
What are the answers?
what are the answers? And I think I'm still trying to figure them out.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out, like for someone that does come to me, they're like, I have this and that going on. Okay. So it's talking and about like helping them figure out like a strength program or something like that. But a lot of what I enjoy doing is just conversation.
Yeah.
Be like, let's actually just like peel things back a little bit and be like, where are you? Where do you feel stuck? And how do we just get you a little bit like less stuck?
Yeah, because it's all interconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so speaking about the fitness industry, if you could redesign the entire thing from scratch, what would you do?
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
I just been like, what a dream. What a dream. I think what I would do is I'm going to say like completely remove aesthetics as like such a prominent thing.
Like this is the goal.
That this is the goal, that there is this picture of success. And if I can hit and I can make myself look like this picture of success, then I have achieved my fitness goals. Because I think it's for so long was attached to some sort of aesthetic look. And it's not to say that that's not true still. It's still very much true. There had been some like less so, depending on, who you surround yourself with or what you see. But just that focus on a before and after and using that as a way to sell something. I could never post a picture and be like, if you sign up for my program, you will get this, because that's not possible.
Yeah.
And even if you were to do the exact same thing, the exact same program, it's still not possible because our bodies are all so uniquely different. It's just, it actually can't happen. So I think just like completely like removing aesthetics is like a focus.
What would you focus on?
Feeling good.
Feeling good.
Just feeling good in your body, and then training for life to be able to do the things that you want to do in life. You want to climb a mountain? Yeah, I want to help you do that. You want to be able to sit on the floor and get back up again? That's really awesome. I want to help you do that. You want to climb the flight of stairs without feeling winded? Yeah. It's just, it's living well. It's, I work at a retirement community. They just want to be able to get dressed independently in the morning. This has nothing to do with what they look like. Yeah. It does not matter. It's irrelevant. They want to put the shirt on without having to ask for help. And it's those things too that like we as young people, we take for granted that oh, I just get to do that stuff in the morning, or I get to do these things by myself. What helps me do that?
Yeah.
My body.
Yeah.
My body being mobile and flexible and strong.
Yeah.
What my body looks like doesn't actually have anything to do with me getting dressed in the morning.
So what you're focusing on is functional mobility. I feel like you would see a lot of emotional transformations along with, like the physical being able to lift this or climb this mountain or that. Like, do you have any stories?
Yeah. So I have one woman that I'm working with, and she hasn't done it yet, but she's training to hike a portion of the El Camino. And so she came to me because she's like, I just want help being able to get strong so that I feel like I can confidently do that.
Mhm.
Which is amazing. I have one client that I'm working with now she's an older woman, and she has her grandbaby just turned 1. She wants to be able to hold her. And so when she lifts. When she lifts, she says, I'm holding, the granddaughter's name. And she's like, I need to be able to lift this weight because she's getting bigger. So it's like those things of like, I just want to be able to hold my granddaughter. I want to be able to hike the El Camino. Like, how amazing is that?
Yeah.
So I want to be able to do this thing. And I say so often, like, training, like we're training for our life. We can train. I mean, I'm in the process right now of training for a half marathon. We train for certain things. There's things that we do. And that's great to have that like short-term purpose. But people have asked before, like, why do you work out all the time? Like, I'm training to live.
Yeah.
I'm training to live and to live well. I want to be able to do the things that I want to do. I'm an adventurer. I want to go on vacation and do the things. And I want to be able to do that forever.
Yeah. You have kids too, right? You might be able to keep up with them.
Yeah, I want to be able to keep up with them. The ability to say yes. The ability to be like, yes, I can do that. I will do that with you. I don't want to be afraid of that. Again, I'm flexing that resiliency muscle. I'm flexing my strength muscle to be able to just do the things that I want to do.
Okay, so if people are wanting to reach you or work with you, what are your handles? Where do they find you?
Yeah. So I am very active on Instagram. It's sort of like my home base in terms of social media. I'm also on Facebook. I would say, I'm not on TikTok. I mean, I am on TikTok, but
I feel like that's not your target audience.
no. Yes. My TikTok is my dog. So you're not really going to get a lot of fitness help on TikTok.
Yeah.
But this is Ali K Fitness is my handle. I believe that's my handle across the board. alikfitness.com is my website. So I got a host of information on there.
Got it.
But yeah, Instagram is, if you want to find me, I am there.
Gotcha. Okay, so Instagram it is. If people are wanting to support you, what are you looking for right now?
I would, they want to support me. I'm like, I wanted to do more conversations with people. So if they know someone, whether it's themselves or someone they know that's just feeling stuck, heading into a new year comes with a lot of pressure to step into a fitness routine, overhaul a fitness routine, and it can feel very overwhelming this time of year. I mean, the noise from the fitness industry in January is very loud. It's very loud.
It is.
So I want to help people navigate that, figure out like whether it's working with me or not, like let's help you find a path that like helps you feel like successful so that fitness can like enhance your life this year, not feel like another box to check. So just being able to connect and I think find more people, that's where I love.
And the people that you want to connect with, they're going to be in Champaign, Urbana, Muhammad. Are you looking to expand beyond that?
Yeah, so those are great, but they could be anywhere. So I run virtual programming. So I have clients over in Peoria, Chicago, New York, Pennsylvania. So that's the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
I could work with someone anywhere. But yeah, community is such an important piece of what I do. So when it's nicer weather, I'll do like community pop-up events. I've done workouts at Custard Cup and different places. So just being able to like be with people because, that social connection of it, like, we work out oftentimes maybe at the gym or at home and we're alone. That's where group fitness is really awesome. And just those community events because like we get to hang out with each other and people moving together for like a collective purpose, like that's unmatched.
It's very fun.
It's so fun.
It's super fun. I used to go to fitness classes at the YMCA when I was younger and like early morning cardio ones.
Yeah.
So much fun. Like just
So much
having
fun.
everybody around, you're right. The community makes all the
The people. And I think that's part of the reason that the people at the retirement community, why they show up,
Yeah.
is because their friends are there.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's nothing better than hanging out with your friends and like moving, listening to good music and like feeling a little bit better. Like you can't beat that.
Yeah, you can't beat it. So how do you define success in a way that you think that most people might disagree with?
I don't know if most people would disagree with it, but I would think in terms of from the lens of the fitness industry, for me, success is being able to be the strongest 90-year-old on my block. Like I want to be the granny on the block that, everyone's like, oh, let's go ask Ali because she can do that. Right?
Yeah.
I want to climb the ladder when I'm old and still like hang stuff up and do things. And that's success for me. If I can be like the people that I work with, if I can be in my 90s and still just like signing up for, I don't mean, maybe I want to sign up for a race, but doing things, right? Like that's success. And I'm not going to get that by chasing a number. I'm going to get that by just training myself and working with my body, be compassionate with my body to live life and for that longevity.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's great.